Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from Babarbagede Imo TV. First, the headlines. Tribunal's judgment not final. Parties free to approach Supreme Court, says Falano. FG to include families of injured, fallen soldiers in social register. Presidential poll petitions. Military police warn protesters as Tribunal delivers verdicts tomorrow. Subsidy pains. Labour vows to ground economy begins strike. And on the fifth story, man stumps building site, served owner with knife. And on sport, Eagles open camp tomorrow. The news shortly. Senior advocate of Nigeria, San Femi Falana, says the judiciary is facing unprecedented blackmail and intimidation over the presidential election petitions, saying that the blackmail is not necessary since there is still an opportunity for an appeal at the Supreme Court. Falana, who was a guest on an interview on Monday, said there is no election petition that has attracted such attention in the country since colonial rule. We have been having election petitions since the colonial era, but none has attracted such level of blackmail and intimidation of the judiciary. I am worried that people give the impression that everything ends with the judgment of the Court of Appeal, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Any party that loses on Wednesday still has the opportunity to appeal to the Supreme Court. So what is the basis for the cheap blackmail that is going on? The senior lawyer queried. The senior advocate blamed the blackmail and intimidation on new voters whom he said have the belief that their candidate must be declared as the winner, saying that it is not what election tribunals are all about. He said it is for the justice to look at the evidence adduced by the parties, apply the law and give a decision. As they say, even if the evidence will fall, the evidence won't fall anyway. The judgment must not be intimidated. They must give their decision regardless of blackmail or intimidations, convinced that they can justify their judgment. The Labour Party LP, the People's Democratic Party PDP, and the Allied People's Movement APM, as well as their presidential candidate, had petitioned the tribunal seeking to nullify the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential election. The federal government has unveiled plans to include families of wounded and fallen soldiers in the National Social Register and its poverty alleviation programs. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, made this known during a meeting with the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, on Monday in Abuja. Edu expressed the need to support families of deceased soldiers. She said, "We want to expand our social register to accommodate military personnel that have either been wounded or affected by war or even soldiers that left their families behind. We need this data from the military so that we can have them captured under the social register," she said. The minister said she was at the defense headquarters to solicit the support of the Nigerian military to tackle humanitarian crisis across the country. Alleviating humanitarian crisis and poverty is the topmost of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Our preference is to discuss humanitarian crisis across the nation and the need to collaborate with the military personnel to prevent more persons coming under the humanitarian bracket. We also should be able to reach out effectively to those who are affected by humanitarian crisis, whether they are, so that our humanitarian workers should be able to reach the people wherever they are with the support of the military, she said. In his response, General Musa assured the Minister of the Nigerian military commitment to support towards achieving the mandate of the ministry. Musa, who acknowledged the link between military operations and humanitarian aid, said the success of any organization directly benefits military efforts, while assuring the minister of his unwavering commitment towards our humanitarian mission. The defense chief was optimistic that the collaboration would yield positive results. Ahead of the delivery of the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja on Wednesday, the military and the police have said they will not condone any unlawful action by troublemakers. The director of the Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, warned those who might be planning to cause violence on that day to discard the idea. The tribunal, in a statement on Monday, announced it would announce on Wednesday the legal judgment on the petitions challenging the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a winner of the 2023 presidential election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The chairman of the INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, had on March 4th declared Tinubu the president-elect because his party scored the majority of votes cast in the poll. The tribunal justice who will deliver the verdict on Wednesday are the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Arunat Amini, Justice Stephen Ada of the Court of Appeal, Asaba Division, Justice Musurat Bolaji Yusuf, Court of Appeal, Asaba Division, Justice Moses Ugo, Court of Appeal, Kanu, and Abba Mohammed of the Ibadan Division of Court of Appeal. In the 2023 poll, the former Lagos State Governor polled 8.8 million to defeat the People's Democratic Party's standard-bearer, Atiku Abubakar, who scored 6.9 million votes, Labour Party candidate Peter Obi, who polled 6.1 million votes, and 15 other candidates. However, 5 of the 18 political parties that participated in the elections turned to the court to contest the declaration by the electoral body. Leading the charge against Tinubu's electoral triumph are Atiku and Obi, who have asked the tribunal to nullify the ex-Lagos governor's victory in the February 25th presidential election. Beside the PDP and the LP, other aggrieved parties included the Action Alliance, Action People's Party, and the Allied People's Movement. In the course of the tribunal proceedings, the 5-member panel headed by Justice Samani dismissed the petitions of the AA and the APP. The dismissal was a sequel to a formal withdrawal of petitions by the parties. Atiku, in his 66-page petition, urged the court to cancel the election and order a fresh poll due to alleged irregularities that marked the exercise in thousands of polling units. The ex-vice president, in his joint petition with the PDP marked CA/PEPC/05/2023, applied for the withdrawal of the certificate of return that was issued to Tinubu by INEC. He maintained that the declaration of Tinubu as the winner of the presidential election was invalid by reasons of non-compliance with the provision of the Electoral Act 2022. Moving on to the next story. The Nigeria Labour Congress has vowed to ground the economy as it says the stage is set for the 2-day nationwide warning strike in response to the severe economic hardship plaguing the nation on the aftermath of subsidy removal by the federal government. This move has garnered widespread support from key stakeholders, including the banking sector, civil society organizations, and workers' unions, as they unite to address the growing economic crisis in the country. The National Union of Banks, Insurance, and Financial Institutions Employees, the umbrella organization representing workers in the banking and insurance industry, on Monday vowed to take part in the strike, effectively shutting down financial activities across Nigeria. A statement signed by the General Secretary of NOBIFI, Mr. Mohammed Sheikh, underscored the importance of the participation in the 2-day warning strike by the NLC, the need to draw the government attention to the dire economic situation faced by Nigerians. The leadership of the body has issued a notice that all banks will be shut down on Tuesday 5th and Wednesday 6th September 2023 in line with the NLC 2-day strike directive. Speaking with Information Senior Deputy General Secretary of the Commission, Mr. Apoderin Olushola reiterated their commitment to the NLC's cause, stressing the necessity of solidarity among industrial unions during these trying times. Joining the chorus of concern, the United Action Front of Civil Society has shown its full support behind the NLC's 2-day warning strike. The Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria has backed the Nigerian Labour Congress to embark on the 2-day warning strike. This was contained in a letter on Monday titled Compliance to the Nigerian Labour Congress Directive on a nationwide 2-day warning strike, signed by the head of media, MWUN, John Ikemefuna. From that story, we'll go to the next. A 52-year-old man, Marcus Olashege, was on Monday arraigned for assaulting and attempting to kill one Muhammad Ali in Lagos State. The defendant was arraigned before Magistrate O.Y. Adefope of the Yaba Magistrate Court on 2 counts of assault and a breach of peace. The police inspector Aruna Magaji told the court that Ali and the defendant had a misunderstanding over an undisclosed issue some time ago. Owing to this, Olasege visited Ali's construction site and started stoning his workers when he could not find him. When Ali arrived at the scene, the defendant was said to have stabbed him with a knife on the left side of his face and stomach. According to Magaji, the incident happened on August 12, 2023, around 12 noon at Bishop Oluwole Street, Lagos State. He added that the offense contravenes and is punishable under sections 168(d) and 173 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State of Nigeria, 2015. The charges read in part that you, Marcus Olasege, on August 12, 2023, around 12 noon, at the site in Bishop Oluwole Street, Lagos, in the Lagos Magistrate District, did assault one Muhammad Ali by using a knife to stab him on the left side of his face and stomach, which caused blood to be gushing out, and thereby committed an offense punishable under section 173 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State of Nigeria, 2015. The defendant pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against him. The magistrate granted the defendant bail in the sum of 200,000 naira with 2 sureties and like sum, and adjourned the case till September 22, 2023 for mention. The defendant was remanded in custody of the Nigeria Correctional Service pending when he will perfect his bail conditions. Going on to the final news on sports. The Super Eagles camp for the 2023 Africa Cup qualifying game against Sao Tome and Principe will open in Uyo on Wednesday, information report. The Eagles play the Selako at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Sunday, September 10 in a dead rubber game. Jose Pesero's side head into the game with their place at the African in Ivory Coast next year already guaranteed with 12 points after beating Sierra Leone 3-2 in June. Eagles coach Pesero had on Sunday named a 23-man squad for the encounter, but Ad Alexi will be pulled out due to injury. With the sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news from BGI TV. Before we go, some headlines. Tribunal's judgment not final, parties free to approach Supreme Court, says Falana. FG to include families of injured fallen soldiers in social register. Presidential poll petitions, military police warn protesters as Tribunal delivers verdicts tomorrow. Subsidy pains, Labour vows to ground economy, begins strike. Man storms building sites. And on sports, Eagles camp get opened tomorrow. For more updates, kindly link up with our handle, Baba Bagide Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.